A warm welcome to you anywhere around the world. This is Nationwide. We are live in Abuja. I'm Ayodeji Makinde. We'll begin by telling you that President Bola Tinubu has been commended for the various reforms of his administration, which have enhanced good climate for businesses to thrive in the country. The outgoing president, ExxonMobil upstream Liam Mallon, gave the commendation as he visited the president at the State House. He expressed appreciation to the president for what he described as encouragement for investments in Nigeria. Mr. Mallon, who is proceeding on retirement at the multinational oil company, also introduced his successor, Dan Arman, to the president.
Strong support from this administration to make the transition of our shallow water business to Seplat Energy. We're very excited. That will unlock potential for all of Nigeria. That's number one. And secondly, the administration's support, in particular with the president's directives to encourage investment in the deep water, will, in my view, set us up for many years to come with many exciting developments. So this administration has been extremely supportive of the potential to expand oil and gas, low emissions oil and gas in this country. Very supportive.
ExxonMobil is currently embarking on one of the biggest oil projects in Nigeria, and the incoming president upstream says the company is at the moment considering expanding the scope of investment in Nigeria's oil and gas sector.
We're looking forward now on a refocused business focused on deep water. We have a lot of exciting prospects and opportunities that I've reviewed with the team just yesterday, and we're looking forward to advancing those as quickly as we can with the support of the President's directives, the support of the government, and we're very excited about the future here.
In the meantime, the Nigeria Labour Congress, NLC, has suspended its proposed nationwide protests against NCC 50% tariff increments. The decision to suspend the protest followed the outcome of a meeting with the federal government delegation led by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume. The federal government and the organized labor agreed to constitute a 10-man committee to thoroughly study the Nigeria Communications Commission tariff structure and module and submit its report within 2 weeks for consideration.
We have deliberated at length. The crux of the matter is that there is already a study that was conducted by the NCC that led them to arrive at this 50% increase. Now we are discussing this with Labour. Labour has agreed that they will look at that study, and then a small committee has been set up to look at that study once again and come up with a final resolution for the consideration of government and Labour in about 2 weeks' time.
The NLC is the largest organization in the whole of Africa, and there is no consultation of stakeholders that does not include us that will stand. It was on that premise that they now agreed to have a larger committee to look at the entire tariff structure and model.
The Nigeria Labour Congress says the report that will be submitted by the committee in 2 weeks' time will determine the next line of action. Meanwhile, discussions between the federal government, the organized labor, as well as the executive vice chairman of the Nigeria Communications Commission are ongoing to arrive at a compromise on the NCC 50% tariff increment for the good of the nation. Today is World Cancer Day, and medical experts at a symposium on oncology care are saying paying critical attention to abdominal pains and changes in bowel habits will go a long way in reducing the number of deaths that occur from colorectal and colon cancers. Elizabeth Omoroye brings us details of the eye-opening event on cancer prevention and management.
For the support of my husband, my friends and family who stood by me, you can see for a fact that cancer is not a death sentence, right? People are surviving, and I'm one of them. And that's why I keep sharing my story, my journey, to inspire other young people like me out there who are newly diagnosed and they are confused on, oh, will I survive it? How will I go about it? So that's why I always share my story, my journey, to inspire them that you can do it. And we all know that cancer is very expensive. For me, I was diagnosed when I was in 300 level. I was a student, no help from nowhere. So I'm urging the government to subsidize cancer drugs for us. It's very expensive. I know of so many of us who can't even afford or continue their treatment because these drugs are expensive. And their caregivers or family members who might have supported them during chemotherapy or along their treatment might feel like, okay, this person is done with treatment, not knowing that they still have a long way of the treatment. For me, I'm done with chemotherapy, but I still have like 5 more years of hormonal receptor therapy that I'm going to. So we have so many of them who are still on treatment, but people feel like, oh, you're done, and that's all. So cancer patient needs support. And I'm so glad opportunity like this God has given me this opportunity to talk and to also appeal to the government. The government are really trying, they're really trying, but we wish they can do more. Thank you.
Testimony from one of those who have survived cancer. Of course, Elizabeth Omorui's report would come in our subsequent bulletins. Every individual, regardless of their socio-economic status, deserves the opportunity to live a healthy life, free from the devastating impact of cancer. Nigeria's First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, stated this in her message marking this year's World Cancer Day. She notes that cancer is a burden on millions of individuals and families around the globe, and as such, demands a collective responsibility to combat, especially in Nigeria, where it is a leading cause of death. The First Lady, however, expresses hope that with determination and partnership, the narrative can change, and emphasizes the need to continue to unite and raise awareness about cancer, prioritize screening, early detection, and equitable access to treatment for all. The theme of the celebration, United by Unique, she notes, highlights the significance of adapting cancer treatments to cater for the unique needs of each individual. She therefore urges all Nigerians to prioritize their health and support one another in the collective fight against this disease. More than 5,000 vulnerable persons in Benue State are to benefit from a 6-day free medical outreach, courtesy of a non-governmental organization, the 1019 Initiative Grassroots Support for Tinubu. Blessing Omeche Ebute reports that the outreach is underway in Boko local government area.
It is often said that a healthy people makes a healthy society. Little wonder, Boko, the administrative headquarters of the chief people of Benue State, came bubbling with life as both the young and elderly thronged the division clinic, venue of the 6-day free medical outreach, courtesy of the 1019 Initiative Grassroots Support for Tinubu. Ondove Peve is a civil servant and was diagnosed with hernia last year, but couldn't afford the amount needed for surgery.
If things like this have been coming to the society, the poor would have been enjoying the dividends of democracy.
For the team of medical personnel, the most common ailments diagnosed among the people have been peptic ulcer, high blood pressure, and malaria.
We have impacted so much because within 6 days, we are able to do more than 200 surgeries.
Within this environment that would have visited, there will be so much reduction in the level of infertility burning from chronic infections.
Convener of the 1019 Initiative Grassroots Support for Tinubu, David Teso Ukechi, represented by the coordinator, David Kundam, says The gesture is in line with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's renewed hope agenda, which is to better the lives of Nigerians, especially those in the rural areas.
What motivates him is in line with the president's vision. He's supporting the president come 2027 for his re-election.
The 6-day free medical outreach is expected to provide consultation, administration of drugs, and procedures of minor and major surgeries. From Boko local government area of Benue State, I am Blessing Omeche Ebute, NTA News.
Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu has paid a visit to former military president General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida at his Minna residence. The First Lady, who was accompanied by wife of the Vice President, Nana Shettima, says she is in Minna to check on the welfare of the former head of state. The latter went into a closed-door meeting. The First Lady also paid a similar visit to another former head of state, General Abdulsalami Abubakar, at his residence in Minna. While receiving her, the former head of state, who was joined by his wife, expressed gratitude for the visit, noting that it was heartwarming to have the First Lady check up on his welfare. Now to a bit of legislative matters following the assent of President Bola Tinubu to bills establishing development commissions for the regions in the country. Senate has appointed chairman and deputy chairman of standing committees to oversight the commissions. Those appointed as announced by the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, as Senator Babangida Hussaini and Montari Dantuse, as chairman and deputy chairman of the Senate Committee on Northwest Development Commission. Senator Orji Uzokalu and Senator Kenneth Eze are the chairman and deputy chairman, respectively, for the Senate Committee on Southeast Development Commission, while Senator Titus Zam and Senator Issa Jibrin are the chairman and deputy chairman of the Committee on North Central Development Commission. Senate has also reshuffled the leadership of some standing committees as Senator Abdul Ningi moves from population to head the Senate Committee on FERMA, while Senator Natasha Akpoti Oduan is the chairman on Diaspora and Non-Governmental Organization. She previously heads the Committee on Local Content. Also appointed is Senator Garba Maidoki as chairman Senate Committee on Sports Development. Senator Joel Thomas is the new chairman Senate Committee on Local Content, while Senator Victor Ume is now the chairman Senate Committee on National Population. Elsewhere, President Bola Tinubu has equally declined assent to the bill seeking establishment of the Federal University of Education, Numan Adamawa State, which was passed by the National Assembly last year. The president conveyed his decision to the House of Representatives in a letter read at plenary by Deputy Speaker Benjamin Kalu. President Tinubu cited wrong allocation of presidential powers in Section 22 of the bill, among other drafting errors, as reasons for refusing assent.
I'm declining assent to the bill due to the following reasons. A. Section 22 of the bill accords the authority to consent to the disposal of land to the governor and not the president, as ought to be the case in respect of land belonging to a federal government entity in the case of universities. 2. The word status is spelled as status in items 13 and 15 under arrangement of sections. 3. Prepositions of is omitted between the word award and degree in section 25(4) sub B, and the phrase 1/3 is spelled as 1/3 in Article 4, subsection 3 of the third schedule to the bill.
National Assembly correspondent Mitaire Ikpen reports that the Senate and the House of Representatives observed a minute's silence and adjourned plenary in honor of late House Deputy Chief Whip Adewumi Ononuga from Ogun State, who died on 15th of January this year. She was eulogized as the only female principal officer of the 10th Assembly, who also served as chairman, House Committee on Women Affairs and Social Development in the 9th Assembly.
She left behind. She impacted a lot on our community, and everybody has good words to say about her.
Senate notes that Honorable Ononuga's resilience and exemplary leadership in championing her legislative advocacy and activism, most particularly in the promotion of gender equality, had left an enduring legacy as far as women participation in politics is concerned.
She was a strong lawmaker, creative, innovative, courageous, capable, and unbowed, even in the face of adversity.
We will miss her not only in Parliament, not only in her constituency, but also all the females in this country. We are mourning her right now.
Every Home a Garden initiative of the First Lady Oluremi Tinubu has no doubt gingered Nigerian women in their efforts to boost food production and enhance food sufficiency in the country. The empowerment and training program for women farmers in Oyo State, tagged Every Home a Garden initiative, is therefore a welcome development, as beneficiaries describe the initiative as laudable and engaging. Wasiu Rauf has details.
Represented by the Commissioner for Special Duties in Oyo State, the First Lady emphasized the importance of every household embracing sustainable gardening practice to nourish their families and communities. She noted that the initiative will integrate urban and rural households into productive farming, ensuring no home is left behind towards a food-secure future. Through the Every Home a Garden initiative, participants are encouraged to transform their household into hubs of productivity, contributing significantly to Nigeria's broader goal of food security.
Those who have been invited to participate, if they are taking it seriously, it will go a long way to alleviate poverty and food insecurity in our communities.
The program provides training in various farming techniques, empowering participants with the knowledge and skills needed to ensure food sufficiency in the country.
And I would like to encourage women that they should embrace it. It's actually a good initiative.
With the help of the farm facilities and the cash, I think I will be able to grow my farm. As one of the beneficiaries, so I really gain a lot.
Over 60 women participants were empowered with cash grants, seed, and tools for farming activities in Ibadan. Wasiu Rauf, NTA News.
Let's have more details on this initiative of Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu to boost food security in the country. And Wasiu is in Ibadan to give us latest as this laudable initiative of the First Lady. Tell us, how is it benefiting rural women in Ibadan and Oyo State?
Thank you very much. The Every House a Garden initiative is one of the initiatives of the First Lady, whereby every household they will have the opportunity to have gardens at their backyard in order to ensure food sufficiency across the country. And the program is being anchored by the wife of the governors in Nigeria. And according to the popular adage, according to the Yoruba popular adage, that when hunger is removed, poverty is alleviated. And in Ibadan, we have a success story when the initiative was organized. When the initiative organized a competition, sometimes last year, so a lady, Olukemi Fajemero, was one of the winners in Oyo State about the initiative. She actually lauded the program and encouraged other women to participate in the Every Home a Garden initiative as a way to ensure food sufficiency in the country. Apart from maybe women participation in the Every Home a Garden initiative, It also, the program also extended. It has also extended to youth as well. Recently, maybe yesterday or day before in Ibadan as well, they organized a program for youth, at least in order to encourage them to participate in the program as a way to ensure that we have full sufficiency and full security in the country.
Wasil, I'd like to thank you for that update on Every Home, a garden initiative by Nigeria's First Lady, Beniti. Thanks for that.
Thank you.
And from that update from the Pace-Setter State, let's go over to the Center of Excellence. And Adeola in our Lagos Network Center is our guide.
Ayo. Now, as Nigeria grapples with the challenges of climate change and air pollution, biomass, geothermal, hydropower, solar and wind have been identified as alternative solutions for greener and cleaner energy capable of meeting the needs of a nation's growing population. How can Nigeria fully key into these energy sources for the benefit of her citizenry? Ime Udori's report is here presented.
Available record by Statista shows that Nigeria's energy consumption has been on the increase over the years, with majority of its energy coming from residential and transport sectors. As of 2023, the electricity demand in Nigeria amounted to over 40 terawatt-hours, following an upward trend observed since 2020. The demand increases annually due to the fast-growing population of the country, which about 60% of the number are still living without electricity. This therefore explains the urgent need for alternative solutions to reduce the pressure on the national supply grid, which experienced a lot of collapse in 2024. Central to this shift is the integration of advanced and sustainable energy solutions, which are revolutionizing how the country produces, distributes, and consumes energy.
The riverine areas could produce a lot of hydro energy or wind energy and turbines, dams, and all that. Then some areas can also produce what we call, there is also thermal energy, which is also heat energy. And all this energy is also coming from the north. We can also harness the mass energy.
Smart grids, for instance, are expected to save billions annually by reducing energy waste and improving grid reliability.
Now there's solar fridge, television and things like that. So I feel like solar is very sustainable. So it would be nice if the government can invest in that.
Recently, a guy discovered how to use water to light his house in those remote areas.
Nigeria could be on the verge of solving her long-term power challenges, leveraging smart technologies to provide consumer flexibility and AI-driven personalized devices, which are paving the way for a more sustainable and efficient energy future.
Salvaging the environment from the impact of climate change requires concerted efforts of energetic and vibrant youths who are coming up with innovative ideas to recover lost grounds. Joak Bukwola reports that Eco Champions, a group of selected youths, are taking the bull by the hand by creating awareness on the need to be agents of environmental sustainability.
Humans have been forced to adapt to drastic changes caused by climate change, from flooding, heat waves, and desertification to many other environmental problems affecting ecosystems. Climate crisis is also taking its toll on agriculture and the economy, with weather patterns largely unpredictable. Finding a lasting solution to these challenges requires a new approach, and this is what the Eco Champions, a group of selected youths who are passionate about achieving these objectives, are to achieve. Leveraging on their exposure, they are expected to mobilize stakeholders such as women, traders, people at the grassroots, including development partners, to check the harmful effects of climate change.
My project is about climate education to school children and market men and women, as well as encouragement of sustainability practices, proper waste management and disposal.
My initiative will be raising generations of environmental stewards. These children will not just be advocates for themselves, they will be advocates in their communities, in their neighborhoods. They'll be reaching out to out-of-school children and sharing the knowledge and information.
The project is promoting eco-friendly transportation, advocating for sustainable living, as well as promoting community engagement.
Children are often vulnerable during extreme weather events, and this informed the involvement of the SOS Children's Village in this environmental rescue mission.
Young people need to take the bull by the horn and come up with initiatives that they can build on to further help reverse these changes we are observing in our climate, which also snowball to having situations like flooding and all the likes.
The Eco Champions are expected to extend the tentacles of their initiatives to other young Nigerians to hasten the realization of their climate action. In Lagos, Joel Bukbola, NTA News.
And those are stories from Lagos. Nationwide will continue in our Port Harcourt Network Center with Dibaba Risiedumanweke after the break.
To Port Harcourt. An APC chieftain in Rivers State, Tony Okocha, has attributed the escalating political crisis in the state to alleged conflicting court judgments, calling for immediate actions to set the record straight. He was speaking at a press briefing in Port Harcourt, where he also addressed other issues bordering on governance in the state. Jenny Bassey reports.
Chief Tony Okocha, while responding to comments from journalists, noted that the political crisis in the state is partly due to the series of court cases and the conflicts in judgments. He highlighted the dangers of choosing what judgment to obey and the ones to ignore, urging the Rivers State government to abide by the rule of law without disregard to court judgments. He further expressed concerns over the rate of development in the state, noting that such areas as agriculture, education, and housing are yet to receive the needed attention.
How can you possibly learn in an environment that is so inserene, inclement? Pray that when the rains come and the winds are serrating as it is, let those buildings not fall on top of our pupils and our students.
He further described as inimical the attitude of some politicians who incite the public against the government at the center, noting that what the people need is actions that will bring development.
We are in a civil society. One thing that is critical, one thing that is crucial in a civil society is that it is a society governed by laws. And the moment you depart from respect for the law, of course, you are inviting anarchy.
Chief Okocha appreciated President Tinubu for appointing indigents of Rivers State into key national positions and pledged more support to the federal government. In Port Harcourt, Jenny Bassey.
3 suspects allegedly notorious for vandalizing port facilities have been arrested and paraded before newsmen in Port Harcourt. Emmanuel Lene reports that various exhibits were recovered from the suspects, one of whom was earlier nabbed and paraded in November last year.
The 3 suspects were arrested on the 3rd of February 2025 at about 1 a.m. upon being sighted by marine police operatives on patrol along the NTA waterfront. They were said to be paddling a canoe surreptitiously towards the NPA Jetty River Port when they were intercepted. Parading the suspects, Commissioner Police Eastern Port Command Jimo Moshood represented says the suspects are members of a notorious criminal syndicate that constantly attempts to vandalize government infrastructure along the waterfronts.
This suspect, while still on court bail, regrouped with his gang and mobilized to attack and unleash another vandalism on the port infrastructure before they were now arrested.
Items recovered from the suspects include a wooden canoe, paddles, industrial gas cylinders, 5 kg gas cylinder, fire hose, marine rope, matches, fire lighter, welding equipment, and phones. Commending the port management for their immense support in terms of logistics, the CP reiterated his commitment to reducing crime at the ports to the minimum. The suspects are to be charged to court immediately. In Port Harcourt, Emmanuel Lene, NTA News.
And that does it from Port Harcourt. It's back to Ayodeji in Abuja for the rest of the news. Good evening.
Thanks. What's the update from Port Harcourt? Kogi State government has promised to support cashew industry through policies that will make the state the hub of cashew production in Nigeria and at international level. This was during the inauguration of the 2025 cashew season in Aiba, Kogi State. Ayodele Ibigbemi has details.
Kogi Cashew Dealer Stakeholders Association flagged off the 2025 cashew season with the theme Agricultural Renaissance, a case study of mechanized cashew farming in Kogi State, Nigeria. The event marks the beginning of this year's cashew business. Special advisor to the Kogi State Governor on Commerce and Cashew Production, Daudu Makama, performed the 2025 flag-off ceremony of the cashew season. He added that Kogi State government has rolled out agricultural policies that will improve on cashew value chain and provides enabling environment for cashew farming and production across the states.
All products being gotten from the state here has to be tagged from the state, Kogi State Agricultural Produce.
Chairman Kogi State Cashew Dealer Stakeholders Association, Alhaji Makama Ademu, and other stakeholders commended Governor Ododo's efforts towards repositioning the cashew industry.
We as an association, we are trying to educate our people, to encourage them, and to sensitize them to the benefits of processing, of establishing processing plants, so that we can go into the export aspect of it in its finished form.
We are getting almost 52 KOR, which is of international standards.
The event brought together agricultural experts, government officials, farmers, buyers, investors, and representatives of Central Bank.
I'm assuring you that everyone that's coming to begin, particularly people should be 100% assured of security.
Kogi cashew is a globally very good cashew as per the quality and the quantity.
We are having 60% of the cashew producing in Nigeria.
With agricultural resources in commercial quantities, and prominent among them is the quality cashew nut, projecting Kogi State cashew as one of the best in the international markets. Ayodele Ibigbemi, NTA News.
The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetoko, has raised concerns about the unwarranted and unethical practice of transferring ongoing cases and misusing of public office by certain officers and individuals. A statement through the Force Public Relations Officer, ACP Olumuyiwa Adejobi, indicates that these practices, which undermine investigations and diminish public confidence in the force, would no longer be tolerated. The IGP emphasized that transparency, professionalism, and accountability must remain the guiding principles of policing. In line with this, he has directed all supervising officers and personnel, particularly those in investigative units, to handle cases with diligence and integrity. Again, the IGP has reminded officers that the police have no jurisdiction over purely civil matters unless there is an underlying criminal element, and even in such cases, investigations must be overseen by the State Commissioners of Police, who will be held accountable for the process and outcome. Furthermore, IGP Egbetoko has urged members of the public to submit complaints and petitions directly to the appropriate police commands, divisions, or units, rather than the IGP's office, except in cases requiring review, appeal, or special intervention. He calls on citizens to trust the police, to deliver justice, and to report any unethical practices through appropriate channel. In renewed efforts to strengthen national security and curb proliferation of illegal firearms, the Nigeria Police Force in recent operations have recovered 191 prohibited firearms and 4,255 rounds of live ammunition. 63 suspects involved in arms trafficking and related crimes were also arrested. These achievements underscore the police force's commitment to reducing the circulation of illegal weapons, which pose grave threats to public safety.
Self-Tata's confession led to the successful apprehension of 4 additional suspects. Victor Ali male, 33 years, Abuja Yusuf male, Bako Isa male, and Salamatu Ilya female, 34 years, all residing at various addresses in Jos, Plateau State. During the operation, a locally fabricated pistol, along with 2 rounds of 7.88 mm live ammunition, were recovered from the suspect. Salamatu Ilya confessed to having sold 900 rounds of AK-47 live ammunition to Bako Isa, who in turn sold 700 rounds of AK-47 ammunition to Victor Pam.
ACP Olumuyiwa Adejobi notes that the recent successes in dismantling gun-running syndicates and recovering illegal weapons across the country highlights the force's determination to eradicating organized crime and enhancing internal security across the nation. Time now to connect with our Maiduguri Network Center, and Ladidi has the next set of reports.
Thank you, Ayedeji, and welcome to Maiduguri. Renewed Hope Initiative has empowered 5,000 women petty traders in Borno State to rebuild their lives after the devastating September 2024 floods. The program was launched by the state coordinator, wife of the Borno State Governor, Dr. Falmata Zulum, at the Government House, Maiduguri. Polly Kujavan has details.
For thousands of women in Borno State, the devastating floods left more than just damaged homes and ruined belongings, as it also shattered their means of livelihood. However, hope rekindled as the Renewed Hope Initiative RHI Economic Empowerment Program, spearheaded by Nigeria's First Lady Senator Oluremi Tinubu, extended a helping hand for the victims. Flagging off the initiative in Borno, the wife of the state governor, Dr. Falmata Zulum, set an electrifying tone when she announced a financial grant of 50,000 naira for each of the 5,000 petty traders affected by the disaster, saying the intervention followed a generous 250 million naira donation by the First Lady to support flood victims across the state.
It is a recapitalization grant, so I'm advising these women to please use this for their businesses, to build themselves and their communities.
Commissioner for Women Affairs Zuera Gambo emphasized that the financial assistance was not only a means to rebuild businesses, but also a gesture of appreciation for the resilience of women who continue to strive despite hardships, urging the beneficiaries to make the most of the support and to stand by the government in its effort to improve livelihoods.
Let us also reaffirm our collective commitment to fostering a society where no one is left behind, no matter the challenges they face.
Overwhelmed with gratitude, the women expressed their appreciation and pledged to use the funds as intended to revive their small businesses and restore their financial independence.
We are grateful to her, and we shall use the money to improve our businesses.
But no women are rebuilding their lives thanks to the Renewed Hope Initiative, which shows that with support and determination, they can make a difference in their homes and the society. In Maiduguri, Pauline Kujevan, NTA News.
Borno State government has donated 30 million naira to the family of the late Army officer Lieutenant Colonel Thomas Alari, who lost his life in the ongoing battle against Boko Haram insurgents in the Timbuktu Triangle recently. Governor Babagana Marzulu made the presentation to the wife of the late officer in Maiduguri. Mohamed Goni reports.
Governor Zulu made the presentation in the presence of the theater commander Operation Hadinkai, Major General Waidi Shaibu,
Sector 2 Commander and Major General Chibere Ejike, as well as Senator Kakasho Lan and members House of Representatives Bakar Talba and Ahmed Jaha, among other government officials. Professor Zulum extended his condolences to the family of Lieutenant Colonel Arari and all those who have lost their lives in the cause of restoring peace to Borno State. He said, although the state authorities have sent a high-level delegation to the funeral, he felt the need to personally extend his condolences on behalf of the government and people of the state.
We are here to present some token donation to the family because I was told that Lieutenant Colonel Arari, he has no personal house, so that is why the state government will give the family the token sum of 30 million naira for them.
We were at the Nimalari Cantonment Cemetery to witness the interment of these soldiers. It is very sad, and His Excellency deems it fit to convey his deep sympathy to not only the officers, but indeed all the fallen heroes.
He assured of continued support to the families of the fallen heroes who lost their lives in defending their fatherland. In Maiduguri, Mahmoud Goni, NTA News.
That does it from Maiduguri. Nationwide continues in our Sokoto Network Center after this timeout. Do stay with us.
For staying with us on NTA Nationwide News. Work on the Sokoto State 35 megawatts independent electricity power project is progressing steadily, with completion expected within 6 months. The project is expected to provide a reliable alternative electricity source and significantly enhance the state's socio-economic activities. Let Abdullahi has details.
The Sokoto State Independent Power Project, which was initiated by the administration of former Governor of Sokoto State, Senator Aliu Magatakardawamoko, has reached an appreciable stage of completion before its abandonment. The administration in the state is leveraging the Electricity Act 2023 that empowers states, companies and individuals to generate, transmit and distribute electricity with the aim of meeting the electricity demands of its people to boost the economy of the state. Going around the project site located at Arkilla in the state capital city, Sokoto State Commissioner for Energy and Petroleum Resources, Sanusi Ibrahim Danfulani, assured that Governor Ahmed Aliyu's administration is committed to delivering the power plant to complement efforts of the federal government in the power sector for national development.
We are trying to energize and ways to see whether we can be able to bring in more investors and then bring in cottage industries like the glass industry, ceramic, and so many other industries that will benefit.
Experts say the process of the power generation in the independent power plant is designed in a way that the turbine have the capacity of utilizing different types of energy sources, not only diesel.
It can contribute to improving the light situation on the light energy supply in the state, which is at the moment is very administered from what we expect for a big city like Sokoto State. We are getting about 10 megawatts, and what we have here can do up to 38 megawatts.
When completed, the independent power plant will enhance economic opportunities, reduce poverty, and improve living standards of the people, as well as the state's revenue drive. In Sokoto, Dalhatu Abdullahi, NTA News.
In a significant development, stakeholders have joined forces with the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, to combat illicit trafficking of drugs in Sokoto State. This collaborative effort comes on the heel of the NDLEA's seizure of 864.81 kg of cannabis and 158.756 kg of psychotropic substances last year, raising concern among the stakeholders on ways to tackle the root cause of the surge for a drug-free, healthy society. Abdullahi Umar Ilalu has more.
A number of factors are contributing to the increasing number of drug abuse and trafficking in Sokoto State that include insecurity and sharing of international borders with Niger Republic that gives perpetrators upper hand to carry out their illegal business. Experts say substance abuse is detrimental to the health of the users.
In Sokoto, we conducted a study recently in 2022, and we found out that the prevalence of substance use disorder is as high as 11.8%.
Worried by the development, National Drugs Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA Sokoto State Command, is intensifying efforts in collaboration with sister security agencies and other stakeholders to combat the menace.
Today we have women now going into drugs, and it's increasing on daily basis.
Society and the government must provide an avenue and opportunity for this youth to get engaged through youth programs, through empowerment skills.
So if we can stop the suppliers, if we can stop the warehouse of where they're keeping this, we reach out to them, we get them, we band them, we totally create environment for peaceful.
We come up with a rehabilitation center where all these kind of drug addicts can be able to be reformed.
It was gathered that the cartel members, who also take advantage of the nation's porous borders, employ a number of tricks to beat law enforcement operatives in their illegal business, targeting mostly the vulnerable groups. In Sokoto, Abdullah Omar Ilalu, NTA News.
Those are the news update from Sokoto. It's now back to Ayodeji in Abuja.
Thanks for your contribution from Sokoto. 3 trucks loaded with both human beings and food items have reportedly involved in a head-on collision on Monday along Agai-Lapai Road in Niger State, claiming 4 lives and that of 35 cattle and goats. A statement by the Director General of Niger State Emergency Management Agency, Nsema Abdullahi Baba Ara, indicates that the tragic incident was attributed to wrong and dangerous overtaking by one of the trucks, leading to casualties. Niger State Emergency Management Agency in Agai local government area and other volunteers partook in the rescue operations. As at the time of filing this report, all 13 injured people involved in the accident were receiving treatment at the Agai General Hospital. And that's nationwide. I'd like to thank you for watching. I'm Ayodeji Makinde, on behalf of the entire production crew. Good evening.